Welcome along everyone. Today I am changing this pretty worn out Bridgestone Battle Wing from my girlfriend's bike, and we're going to be putting on the Michelin Pilot Road 5. This is basically everything here is all you're going to need to change the tyre. I have got a balancing stand out of shot. I've changed tyres by hand with just a decent set of these for a while, but breaking the beads on tyres is just absolutely killer. So if you're planning on doing this quite a lot, I recommend one of these. This is just a cheap Warrior bead breaker kit, really simple to use. And then obviously this is my compressor. You'll need to seat the bead on the rim, you're going to need some tyre, this is Pro Vac Wax, it's just tyre seating spread. And like lubricant, and then also you're going to need something with a bit of power to be able to, you can't just fill the tyre up gently to get it onto the bead, you need to pump it full of air really quickly to get it to pop up onto the rim. So with that, you can use a car compressor, like as in a car pump that goes in your 12 volt, it's just not powerful enough. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. One thing that is useful is heating these up, so I tend to do it in the sun if you've got time and you've got sun, or you can use a hairdryer and warm that up that way. Now this might be a little bit more difficult because this was out in the sun about 20 minutes ago, but it's now nearly 8 o'clock in the evening, so the sun's long gone. This is I don't know if you can see that, that is a valve core remover. So the idea behind that is in your tyre valve, you've got a smaller valve like centre or core as it's called. And that stops you putting too much pressure into the tyre. So we'll remove that first. That is a valve core. So keep that safe. Now it's also good to put this in the sun as well, just to help you get it off. But alas, we have no sun. As I said before, this kit, this set here, was pretty cheap. It was like £35. And for how easy it makes breaking the beads, I recommend it all day long. It's a jolt, my foul. So, there's one side. My girlfriend's gonna kill me. I do all of this work in just normal clothes and then go, can you wash them please? So one side, flip over to the other. That sounds horrendous. If you've got a small motorbike and it sounds like that, probably give up. So once you've got it off most of the way, the rest is quite easy. Now, that's us done with this. Now I know that looks like quite a lot of money for literally taking the tyre off a bead, but when you try and break the bead without one, I'd have spent 100 quid easily. Now, essentially, you can just walk that off to make sure it's definitely off. Rim protectors, very important if you want to protect your rim. You guys are going to see wild loads of sweat because it's boiling. So what I've done here is I put 2 rim protectors on, and then you work the tyre in. So say so your tyre comes around and in, you get the tyre iron underneath, and then essentially you're pulling that up over the rim. That's what you're doing. Make sure it's off all the way around like that. Catch your finger, and then put that in there. You should be able to lift it up over the top, just like that. So you can see that there, or you might not be able to. On there, that should be enough. then you just walk this round until you get most of it off like that, and then you should be able to almost lift it up like that. Ta-da. Now, that's what you should be left with. Now you need to get this side of the tyre over that as well. So rim protectors, if they did stay in place, fantastic. If not, you need to get them on the inside. The rim that's inside, do exactly the same thing. Right, so ironically, as I got the tyre off, my GoPro decided to die. I don't know whether it was a battery or what, but who knows. So anyway, what I've just done with this, I've used a hairdryer, and what you can do is put a hairdryer in here just to blow some warm heat all the way around it. That's why that was so hard to get off. One thing you can do that I completely don't advise, if your rear tyres are toast, warm them up with a little burnout. Or you could just ride in them, warm them all up, and then it makes them so much easier to change. That's why this is such a pain in the backside. So what you want to do with this is just the bead grease. You're just going all the way around it, just giving it a little bit. This will just help it pop up onto the bead. So that is that. Then you need to do the same with the tyre. Now normally, as you might be able to see on this, the yellow dot or a red dot. Now it depends on the manufacturer. That can either mean it's a heavy point of the tyre or the light point of the tyre. The rim will have a heavy point, and so will the tyre. The heavy point in the rim is normally the valve, or where the valve is. So if the yellow or red dot is the light point of the tyre, you put it by the valve, and it sort of balances itself out. Same thing with this. Like I said, I've warmed this up a little bit. Don't be worried about putting a lot on, because it's just going to make your life easier. This stuff, I mean, I bought this on Amazon and it was cheap. I mean, you get a huge tub of the stuff, so you don't need to worry about it. Just lather it on, and then it's so easy to clean off. Going back to what I was saying about the heavy point, Michelin for some reason don't put a dot on the tyre. And apparently it's because they don't have a heavy point, which I think is BS, but you know, and what you can do.
One thing I forgot to mention in this section is that you need to look out for the rotational direction of the tyre and ensure that matches the rotation of the wheel before you mount it. I'll put a picture on screen to show you what you should be looking out for on the side wall, so I'll put that now. Some tyres will be reversible, which means they can run either way, but most will have a direction. The reason that's important is the tyres are designed in a specific way to clear water from your contact patch, for example, and the tread will be more efficient in one particular way. So getting that rotation right is almost crucial to make sure you've got the grip. Anyway, back to me in the garage.
Put it on at an angle, and you should just be able to push it on like that. And then what you're doing here is you need to use your bead breakers and your rim protectors. Put those all the way around, and then work it over. This can get quite a lot of effort. Now if you get the tyre irons in before you start pushing it over the bead, it means it's easier. And it doesn't pop out like that. Make sure the tyre is crushed in the middle of the rim, because it makes it, basically if the tyre is sitting right at the top, the other side is going to be quite tight and you won't be able to pull it up over the rim. Whereas if it's sitting down the middle, there's more rubber at the top end. Kneel on the tyre so it's in the middle. I mean, that is so much easier than, now if you get off-road tyres, that is a hell of a lot harder because the sidewalls are a lot harder, but that was incredibly easy. This is a tyre balancing stand. Now, before I seat the bead, what I like to do is try if I can, try to spin, because I know there's a heavy point. If you can spin the tyre around before it's seated on the bead, to get to a point where you've got a heavy and light area, it's easier to balance it later on. Here's our heavy point at the moment. So if I now pull that up, it goes down, right, which means that is the heavy point still. So if I now turn that and put that heavy point back up, it still goes down, which means that's still a heavy point. So if you bring it back round, see now it goes up? Now what I mean by that is I've got this mark and holding it at the 3 o'clock or the 9 o'clock position, other way around. And if it drops, so see that it's there, so it goes up, which means, let's do that again, here, almost perfectly balanced. Close enough for me. There you go, basically stay still. So that's close enough for me, I'm happy with that. All that means is that you'll have to put less wheel weights on it, so these. Right, over there. Now, fair warning, this can get quite loud. Let's seat the bead. So what you'll get now is as you pump air in, you'll get a pop and a pop. They're quite loud, they almost sound like a bit gunshot like. There you go, really simple. So you got a pop and a pop from both sides. That is the rim, the bead of the tyre seating on the rim. Then obviously to get back to, there it is, so don't lose it. To get back up to full pressure, you need to put your valve core back in. So once you've done that, you'll be able to pressure the tyre, refit it, carry on. Carry on with your life. There you go, do that up nice and tight. And re-inflate. Right, one mounted pressured tyre. So you need to do, the reason you balance a tyre is because if it's off balance, when you're driving along, you'll get the weight shifting from top to bottom, top to bottom, top to bottom, and it shakes you all over the place. And I've had it before, not a nice experience. So, put these on, back on here. Now, it's spinning anyway, so we'll wait for the heavy point of the tyre to seat. Well, you can't, I mean, don't spin it hard because then you'll be waiting here for hours. So that is, you can calm it a bit. There you go. So we mark the heavy point of the tyre up the top here. There you go. Now, what you need to do, bring that heavy point round to the 3 o'clock or the 9 o'clock position. If that rises, this is still heavier. So if it rises, it means that you need more weight on, and if it sinks, you've got too much weight on. So that's still rising quite quickly. So what we'll do is we'll grab, so these are just wheel weights. Don't put them on properly, because once you know how much wheel weight you need, then you can clean the surface and put them on properly. So I'm just going to peel the sticker back halfway, put it round to the side. It's still rising quite quickly as well. My plan of it being balanced didn't go as planned, did it? Why are you still rising, man? Now, massive rookie error. I've just got this. There's another wheel weight on there. Pop that off. It's one thing you must do. So that is our problem, is that we fitted that. We fitted the tyre incorrectly balanced. Right, back again. I've now taken the tyre off, moved it around. It seemed to balance a lot better this time. No wheel weight. Marking the top again. Bring it around to the side. Still rises. So we're going to put, this is 10 grams weight. at the top. Still rises. Same again the other side. It is balancing a lot easier now. There you go, completely balanced. So now what we do, get a rag, take our wheel weights off for now, remembering where they've got to go, clean that part of the rim, both sides, and we put that close to the centre as possible, in the middle, just squeeze it in. It should stick. Now, some people stick tape over the top of them. I don't like that, I think it looks ugly. So try and get, these are obviously silver wheels, I've got silver weights. If you can get, if you've got black wheels like I have, black weights, they do exist, might as well do it. So that is actually falling a little bit. I'm gonna peel those off. And put that back on. The lesser weight you can put on the rim, the better. If it rises slightly, that's fine. But that is how you take off the tyre, remount it, forget you've got weights on, remount it again, and balance a wheel. Hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you next time.